Love him or hate him, Lewis Hamilton is one of the most decorated drivers to ever be at the helm of a Formula One car. And in 2023, Lewis is at a crossroad point in his career, as many are eager to know whether he chooses to extend his stay with the sport or hang it up for good. A lot of factors come into play in Lewis's decision, and you may be wondering what exactly those factors are. Well, you've come to the right place to find out. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Hamilton has made it abundantly clear on numerous occasions that he has no intention of joining any other team, and he and Mercedes are involved in a variety of non-racing activities as well. Despite his worst career championship position, 6th, his first winless F1 season, and being outscored by a teammate for the first time since 2016, it is highly unlikely that Mercedes would push Hamilton out, as they are well aware that these setbacks were largely beyond his control. Because of how much they've gone through as a duo, Hamilton and team boss Toto Wolff have been comfortable allowing contract negotiations to last further than what many would find comfortable, even if a formal agreement is not reached until several months from now. However, for the broader, non-specialist media and dedicated fans, the fact that the most successful and high-profile driver in F1 has not yet committed to his team beyond 2023 will continue to be a topic of interest until Lewis signs on the dotted line. Another topic of interest me and my team have is why most of you guys are still not subscribing to the channel. So, please quench this curiosity of ours and hit that subscribe button before I go on. We good? Okay, now back to Lewis and Mercedes. So, it was expected that during Wednesday's Mercedes launch, Hamilton and Wolff were bombarded with questions about the status of Hamilton's 2024 contract. And to the media's credit, some threw the dynamic duo a curveball, asking what would they do if the car underperforms again. The history of once dynamic teams experiencing a decline after being knocked off their throne is mixed. After Mercedes ended Red Bull's title run from 2010 to 2013, Red Bull took almost a decade to recover due to engine-related issues. On the other hand, Ferrari had only one season of decline in 2005, primarily due to changes in tire rules after Michael Schumacher's 2000 to 2004 reign. Ferrari bounced back quickly, contending for championships in 2006 to 2008. However, the fact that Ferrari's dream team began to disperse as the competition grew stronger was the main reason for their prolonged drought in championships. But with that, 2004 did not signal the end of their era of being relevant in the sport. And to Hamilton, the 7-time world champion believes that their situation is closer to what happened to Ferrari's than Red Bull. Although they had a disappointing season, all signs point to Mercedes still having the potential to compete for championships, and, as a result, Hamilton is not taking into account the possibility of Mercedes becoming uncompetitive in his considerations for the 2024 season. You don't all of a sudden just lose the ability to be able to do so. I have the utmost confidence in all the people I've been around. The place is expanding all the time. The factory is getting bigger. There's more and more departments and more people joining all the time. Pushed straight afterwards on whether he felt Mercedes needed to prove itself to him again, Hamilton was emphatic. "I don't feel like I need them to prove themselves to me," he said. "I think we've proved time and time again over the years that we have strength and depth. We still have all these incredibly talented individuals within the team. As I said, you don't lose that ability. We're continuing to try to improve our processes. We're continuing to try and be smarter in how we approach things with our communication. I think there's the best harmony within the team that I've seen in all these years. We've got a real fresh young group of engineers and people that have just come into the team in the past year as well. It's an exciting time for the team, and I don't plan on being anywhere else." So that's that. Toto would echo Hamilton's sentiments and say, "He knows what he has with the team," Wolff said of Hamilton. "We won 8 constructors' titles in a row, and I'm not saying anything that you don't know. We got it wrong last year. The resource and the capability is there. We just need to continue to develop like we've done last season. So I don't think in Lewis's mind there's any doubt that the team can perform. We will. Eventually. But with that, Hamilton would admit that he was as shocked as everyone when he and Mercedes came out the gates limping at the season opener in Bahrain in 2022. Last year, definitely I was bullish because they were bullish, that we had big upgrades coming, and I was like, right, we're going to be coming up to hit hard. But obviously, it was a shock to all of us when the car was uncompetitive, Hamilton explained. So I think this year is a lot more grounded. More of the approach that we perhaps won't be the fastest out of the gate, but hopefully we'll be closer and hopefully have the potential to close the gap early on in the season. Mercedes will be looking to close the gap to their competitors, specifically Red Bull, who won their championship in 2022 virtually unscathed, aside from the first few races of the season. While the Milton Keynes-based team got to enjoy the fruits of their labor in 2022, they would not finish the season without controversy, as they would be punished by the FIA for breaching the cost cap in the season prior. This punishment had them fined $7 million and resulted in a 10% reduction on their aerodynamic development time for a full year. This punishment Red Bull has to serve plays into their favor, according to Toto, as he would say, I think they, Red Bull, have done a very good job last year in having a car out there that was half a second or more quicker than anyone else. Wolff told media, including Crash.net, at the launch of Mercedes' W14 Challenger. The length of wind tunnel time is certainly not great for them, and it could be an advantage for us this season. But with that, Toto would stress that a team of Red Bull's caliber should be able to limit the damages they incur with such a penalty hanging over them. But if you have an efficient machine, you can certainly compensate for that, or large parts of it, he explained. So long term, it's good for us. But we've been in that situation, obviously without a penalty, so we won and had less wind tunnel time for everyone else for the last 2 seasons. It's going to certainly bite them a bit, but if they are efficient as an organization, which they've demonstrated, it's not going to be big. Mercedes spent their Wednesday morning unveiling their 2023 Challenger to the public, then headed straight to Silverstone to give both Lewis Hamilton and George Russell a chance to take their new W14 for a spin. Although conditions were slick at Silverstone at the time they brought out their new W14, Hamilton would share that he stepped out of their new car feeling encouraged and excited of their chances this upcoming season. It has been great to get up and running with the W14. It is always a much anticipated moment for everyone at the factory that has been working so hard. I'm incredibly grateful for all the effort that has gone in, said the 7-time world champion. The day has been smooth. We got through a good program, and we've come away with some useful findings. I generally felt comfortable in the car, and I'm excited to get going in Bahrain. Russell added, it's great to get on track with the W14. It was very cold and greasy out there, but the car ran smoothly, and we completed all the laps we are permitted to do. We know pre-season testing in Bahrain will be the first real test of the car. Nevertheless, it looks great out on circuit, and the feeling from within the car is so far, so good. So who are you cheering for this 2023 season? And why so? Let's talk about it in the comments section below. And don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're a newcomer to Formula One Inside.